What's going on, guys? Seth and Chevy here. We just watched episode 15 of season 2 of Jujutsu Kaisen. We'll be talking full spoilers ahead, so hopefully you've watched this episode. And yeah, let's do a real quick recap to get everybody caught up on what we just watched. Basically, this continues from the last episode. We got Nanami, Megami, I forgot her name. Do you remember? Well, I can't remember her name right now. Oh my god. And the old guy. You got those guys. They're in the domain expansion of the octopus guy. They're making their escape, and Toji seems to bust in, or at least the ghost of Toji, as the old guy kind of mentioned. He comes in. He just takes... I can't remember her name. Why can't I remember her name?
Maki?
Maki? Well, let's call her Maki. Yeah. Takes her cursed weapon from her with ease. She's kind of blown away by his strength and doesn't detect any cursed energy from him. And yeah, as he's making his way over towards the octopus guy, the old man observes him and recognizes him, but also recognizes that Toji's dead, and this is a ghost of Toji, basically. And while he's making his way over there as well, we get a little bit of insight on basically the old woman's seance, regardless of her being alive or not, is continuing on. And he is basically doing what he was instructed to do, which is take out curses. So he's on his way over to Octopus. Octopus guy is trying to figure shit out, trying to figure out if he's, just another sorcerer in there with them. He doesn't detect any cursed energy from the guy, so he doesn't perceive him as a threat. And then we proceed for like a good 5-10 minutes with Toji basically beating the shit out of this dude. Go watch the episode again. I'm not going to give you a frame by frame recap, but it was insane. A lot of running on water, staying in his face, beating the shit out of him. They go underwater for a second. He gets almost swallowed, Toji, and he breaks out of that.
Yeah, they had to do ghosting a lot during that fight.
Yeah, there's a lot of crazy stuff and amazing animation. Really, really satisfying to watch, especially from the last episode. Just watching somebody just handle this dude. And yeah, he wears them out. They get back on the beach from a big fight, and Octopus guy's trying to figure out, what's his name? Dagon. I think that's his name.
I think so.
Yeah, Dagon. Anyway, I can't remember the girl's name, but I can remember the fucking random curse guy's name. Anyway, Dagon is kind of wondering if he's even gonna be able to fight this dude. He's insulted by the idea of an uncursed energy human who's going to beat him. But then he devises a plan, basically. But in that time, Toji doesn't really give him a chance to do anything. Hits him a couple times and starts sharpening the weapon. Dagon goes to do something. Toji's in pursuit, but then the old guy heads him off from behind, shoves him down towards Toji. Toji stabs him twice and then takes the third piece that's not sharp and just slams that right into his head. That was his head, right? Am I remembering all the details correctly?
Yeah.
There's a lot going on here.
He slams him more than once. But
Then after that, he starts going and just fucking decimates him. It was wild to watch. And then all of a sudden they find themselves outside the domain expansion. It's just over. They're all trying to figure out what the hell just happened and who the hell this dude is who just showed up and easily took this dude out that they were probably going to die to, and trying to figure out if he's friend or foe. And then without really being able to understand what just the hell happened, Megami goes flying out a window, lands in the street, trying to understand how he's even out there. And he is followed by Toji into the street. We don't know what happens after that, though, because big question marks happen. Jogo, right? Mm-hmm. Shows up quietly and very determined and just starts taking everybody out. He lights Nanami on fire. He lights Maki on fire. And then he goes to light the old guy on fire. The old guy is able to move, but then he's able to blast him from like 4 different angles and took him out. And then how did he detect? He just felt Sukuna for a second. He got a flash of him.
The girls released one of the fingers.
Yeah.
And even as far as like season 1, the fingers attract curses. They can tell when it's present.
Okay, yeah. So he feels that. He's instantly like, what the hell? He goes running over there where he got that from, a little spidey sense. And the girls are over there, the two girls who dragged off Yuji, and they're feeding him fingers to try and basically get Sukuna out. Jogo is just on a burning rampage, lights them on fire, and then tries to determine the situation, what's happening, busts out his fingers and feeds him 10? 10 of them, which, if I got this correct, is able to give Sukuna full power of Yuji's body, but he said temporarily, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So he does that and realizes the girls are alive. He's confused on how that even happened. They're smoking. They had left where they just got lit on fire. And yeah, basically Sukuna comes back, takes over Yuji's body. It's a really intense scene because everybody's freaking out. They know how evil this dude is, how powerful he is. And he kind of demonstrates it by basically telling them to kneel, barely giving them any chance to hesitate on that, because he just like slices across the wall and takes off atop of Jogo's head. The girls were able to duck fast enough. And yeah, for basically feeding him the fingers, he will listen to what they have to say for a second. The girls kind of demand that he goes down and kills the entity that has Geto's body, because obviously earlier in the season they were upset that he didn't hold up to his side of the deal that they had, and so basically they're just desperate to just take him out. He's not happy with that demand, Sukuna, and just kind of takes out the one of the two girls, Makimo. I don't remember what her name is. Kills her instantly.
Girl.
Yeah. And the other girl, processing that, freaks out and then goes to do something with her cell phone to Sukuna, and Sukuna just eviscerates her. Shit. Top of her head comes off, and then the rest of her goes, just gone. So yeah, those two are dead now. Sukuna then asks Jogo, how did he wants. Yeah, what he wants, for the, bring him the fingers or whatever. And
10 fingers worth, yeah.
Yeah. And Jogo kind of just fills him in on what's happening, what is going to happen to him with Yuji, and then he needs to make a pact with Yuji, telling him also, what's going on with, he's got allies here, people downstairs, and they end up, basically, Sukuna says that, he'll, work for him?
If Jogo can land a hit on him,
yeah,
he'll work under them.
Yeah. So he's challenging him, basically, like, if you can even land a hit on me, I'll do what you want me to do. And it seems like at the end of the episode, Jogo is going to take him up on that offer, possibly. Because
yeah, maybe being honest.
Because what else is he going to do? Yeah. He's like, are you going to stick to your word? Because at this point, it's just like, you do this, or what? He's going to kill you. Like, you don't really have a choice here. So, yeah, really crazy episode. A lot happened in like the first half of the episode, and then the rest of it was just Sukuna being scary. Thoughts?
The show is definitely showing off animation, which is great for us, though I don't know how great it is for the employees.
Sure.
Yeah, so the whole beginning inside the domain between Toji and what did you say his name was again? The octopus dude? Dagon. I mean, that was some pretty nutty animation, a lot of creativity in the way that fight went too.
Especially the part where he wrapped the chain, whatever the hell that's called, around his head and then kicked him in the face.
Yeah, the back of his head. And
while he rolled over him. Yeah, I was like, that's fucking wild.
And I kind of mentioned earlier, but they had to ghost it like twice, which is, if you're unfamiliar with that, is an anti-seizure thing they do when something's broadcast on TV in Japan. The screen gets darker. DVD, Blu-ray versions don't have that. So
oh, interesting.
Yeah.
I noticed it got dark a couple times. Like, why?
If you ever see that, that's them. It's because it's being aired on TV.
Huh.
So they get rid of that when you buy it. Yeah. So yeah, that whole sequence was insane. And even when it ended, I was like, just like they were, thinking like, okay, what's next? Because even in the explanation of like the old lady being dead, they basically said the thing's on autopilot and just attacking whatever is the highest cursed energy, basically. And so like now there's a bunch from there. Who's he going to attack next? And apparently he picked Megami, and I do wonder if that is a cursed energy thing or if there's like a little bit of Toji still there, and maybe recognizes his son. I don't know. That'll be an interesting, like, whatever happens there.
Yeah, huge question mark still. This
Yeah.
whole episode just added more question marks to everything.
Yeah. Jogo coming in, and it's funny because we've seen this guy multiple times, but it's always been against Gojo.
Yep.
And like, so he's been kind of a joke.
Yep.
And he showed up, and he is not a joke. Apparently,
This was my biggest takeaway of the whole episode was that Jogo has always been kind of a joke because Gojo, he runs into Gojo and he just makes him look like a fool. And I'm just like, why is this guy part of the evil council or whatever that these guys are up against? But then here, he just showed up, and this is like a whole different Jogo than I've ever seen. Like with Gojo, he's just like, fuck, what am I going to do with you? And he knows the situation, but he tries. But with these dudes, he didn't even register them as like threats. He just popped. He was like, boom, boom, boom. He's like, get out of here. And then like he's just on mission. And I was just like, oh, he's super powerful.
Yeah.
He's just not as powerful as Gojo.
right? Because who is?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was wild. Also, like, are they dead?
Yeah. Yeah. Huge. I hope they're not, but I would almost respect it if they just showed how straight up powerful that dude was compared to them. But that would have been not a satisfying death for any of those characters, but that would
be wild.
Would really add a lot of weight to Jogo as a character, though, if that just happened. So maybe somebody survives. Maybe Maki. If out of those three, I assume Maki would survive because she's the youngest and has something to look forward to.
Yeah, but I mean, they killed Mekimaru though, and he was part of the same class. So who knows?
Yeah, they didn't put as much time into him though. Like Maki, they building.
Well, I mean, they gave him a whole episode to die in, but yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's wild.
Mm-hmm.
And then the fact that we went from, a guy who had 4 fingers ingested to all of a sudden 15. What does that mean for him when he gets his body back? And how long is, Sukuna or whatever the fuck
Sukuna.
Yeah. How long is he going to be in control of the body? And
well, we got to figure out his plan or what happens with him and Jogo, because as soon as they said early on that if they just force feed him a bunch of fingers at once, which makes sense why he was upset by it, because he wanted to like slow feed him those. If he fed him all at once, he'd only have temporary control. And so instantly I was just like, okay, so we're not just finally summoning Sukuna. We have a situation with Sukuna we're going to have to figure out. But even Jogo was saying, like, you got to make a pact with this dude. And
well,
Sukuna's got his own plan, apparently.
Well, it's funny because when Jogo was saying that, they already made a pact.
Mm-hmm.
The only person who knows about it though is Sukuna or whatever.
Sukuna.
Yeah.
Doesn't Megami know about it?
Nobody knows it because he.
Oh no! It just happened, but he wasn't. He wasn't.
Yeah, and part of the stipulation was not even Yuji can remember it.
Yeah.
So
yeah, I remember that part.
So Jogo's telling him all this as if it hasn't already happened because no one knows, and he doesn't want to give it away either. So he's just like, yeah, I got my own stuff going on, like.
Yeah,
whatever.
That's a fair point.
And the whole reason he's even like humoring him is because he basically, there's a value to how much help he's received. Like when the girls gave him a finger, but then they made a demand of him. He's like, that's not, he literally said, that is, you give me one finger and you're going to tell me to do something? Go fuck yourself, basically.
Yeah, he's not a fucking genie in a bottle.
Yeah.
Like,
and then Jogo gave him 10. And so and then Jogo didn't want any. He's like, what do you want? He's like, I don't want anything.
Yeah.
But here's what's happening.
Mm-hmm.
He's like, I want you resurrected.
Yeah.
And here's who's here, and here's the situation, blah, 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 type thing. And so in that case, he's like, I'll give you we'll play a game, but I'll give you a chance. So I don't know. It's crazy. Also, the effects of people just being like head popping off, head slicing in half, slowly turning to cubes and then dust. Like that was insane.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, those are throwaway characters for me, but it was still intense to watch because like, you know, you hear Sukuna's bad, he's evil, blah blah blah, and he comes off like it a little bit when he's having his dialogues inside of Yuji, but for him to not even move barely at all, and they're just getting eviscerated and stuff, and they're not super powerful anyway, but
Yeah.
it just kind of showed off there's no value there for him. In fact, like the idea that he's going to let Jogo try to get a hit on him to see where they go from here basically tells me it's like, if you can't do that, then you're not even worth my time.
yeah. Well, and you know he kind of played around with Megami as well before, so he's definitely into the idea of toying with people.
Yeah. He's a little mischief maker.
I also like when as soon as he was awake, he like had control of the body. Both the girls were like completely frozen, and the way they drew the intensity in their face was super detailed. So.
There's two really cool scenes in this episode that were really good at tension and in a cinematic way. And we always talk about this, but it's there again. The part where they were on the ground, the camera angle was from like underneath her, showing her face looking at the ground. Mm-hmm. So it's in from that angle, basically, you can't see what's happening around you. You're only seeing her face and how she's reacting. She's just hearing what's happening around her, which was really cool. And then the scene with Toji in slow-mo. And I always think about how you animate frames in slow-mo, like how many frames you got to put to even make something look smooth like that. And when he's walking at them, there was a shot of it just showed a wall, but you could hear the room. And nobody's moving. It added a lot of really cool tension to that scene when they were trying to figure out what the hell he even wanted. But then he just flung Megami out the window, apparently.
And to constantly emphasize this guy's speed, him just being here and then here all of a sudden. Mm-hmm. And it doesn't even seem like slideshow-esque. So they do a really good job on that, which is crazy, even though it is basically just, a frame difference and he's in a different spot. But
they put work into
their timing is really good.
There's a slight in some of the, like when he first showed up again, he was like taking half a step forward and then he was just there. It's not like a lot of like older anime where you watch them like just not even animated and they just teleport here. Yeah. In this, at least, they're giving him motion.
He's in motion.
Yeah, which I really like because it conveys that he is moving. We just didn't catch with our eye the fast movement.
Yeah, like when he's walking towards the octopus dude, he's like couple steps when he's in first person, right? And then, like all of a sudden he's halfway there. All of a sudden he's in his face like swinging already. And like Jesus Christ, man.
Yeah, because like he was so far down the beach at first you could barely see him, and then he was just in his face. Yeah, it was really crazy looking.
So, yeah, I don't know. Every episode of the season, man, it's insane.
Yeah.
Whew.
Yeah, I mean, I pretty much agree with everything you said there. The whole beginning of the episode with the fight was just awesome. The creativity, the details. I love how vibrant that domain is, and the fights that are happening there. It feels totally different than like everywhere else. Also, they get to play around with like water, like the Dagon's like this fucking merman guy, but Tochi's just like running on water because he can move so fast. So like. We got a lot of really cool stuff going on there, specifically, the part where, just like the weapon he's using is really neat anyway, but the way he's like swinging it really quick and just coming at him, Dagon can like barely, even defend himself. He's like shooting all the stuff at him. That one scene where he's running and just flying through the fish or whatever.
Catches
really,
the one in his mouth.
Yeah, really cool. Not for a second do you feel like Dagon has a chance against this guy. The whole time it seems like Toji's just enjoying that he's going to kill this dude, and also really interesting to see the old guy hop in and just use the situation to their advantage to help him kill this guy who's the threat. It's a huge gamble for them to even want to be in this situation at all, let alone help this dude, because they don't know who the hell this guy is or what he's going to do. Well, the old guy does, but they don't know if he's an ally or not, but they know that this Dagon dude's got to die. Speaking of that, it was also interesting too to see again. This episode really kind of made Jogo less of a joke as a character because he even like lamented the loss of Dagon for a second, which was really interesting. He just noticed that he was dead, and he just like said a couple words to him, and then just started eviscerating everybody. Really crazy. And I really enjoyed that. Like I said, that was my biggest. Like, there's some crazy stuff happening in this episode. Sukuna's back. That's wild. Toji is out of control. But Jogo getting some. This show is really good about. They'll get to this character eventually. They're not forgotten. They just haven't really given you stuff on them yet. Because I felt the same way about Maki for a long time. Like, why is she cool? Like, I guess she's like. They say she's a badass. She has badass stuff, but like. Whatever, but then in the movie we get some more insight on her, and it gave her some weight. Same thing with this episode of Jogo. I was like, oh, he's actually like a competent dude. Just every time we see him, Gojo's too powerful for everybody, and he knows that. It's also wild to see the top of his head just get chopped off. That was really weird when Sukuna just sliced the wall and
and his version of flinching was just opening his eyes a little bit.
It's
wild.
So the scene with Toji and everybody trying to figure things out. Him and Megami go out to the street. A lot of cool tension there. Really curious to see where that leads with Toji. I'm also really curious to see Toji being in the mix with Sukuna in the mix with Geto 2.0 in the mix. There's a lot of really powerful people wandering around right now, and none of them are Gojo. So it's really interesting dynamic wise. Let's see. The whole thing with Jogo, the playing with the fingers, just this whole thing for him is kind of a wild card. He's like, I got to get Sukuna back, but after that, hopefully things work out.
He didn't even care about himself as long as curses win.
He's just committed to making sure that they win. Yeah, basically. He also mentioned something about Mahito. I don't remember quite what he said about that though.
I missed it.
Yeah, he said something about Mahito's transmog. But yeah, and then the scene with Sukuna at the end. Just kind of, we already know this guy's bad news, but this just kind of solidifies that. As soon as he gets back, he's just murdering people, and he's got a plan. We'll find out. I want to know more about that. But I'm really curious to see how Jogo gets out of this, if he does at all, because he's definitely a character you could kill off, but after this episode they kind of gave him a little character, so I'm a little more invested. If he before this episode, if he would have died off, I'd be like, well, that guy's dead, but now I'm just like, he's kind of an interesting character now all of a sudden. It's weird. So, and then big question mark as well. Nanami, Maki, old 24 frames per second guy, are they dead? Are they just fried? Are they going to need someone to fix them or something? I have no idea.
The amount of damage that's been done to people who are potentially still have a foot in the game here. Who's left? To fight. Fake
Geto.
Geto, yeah.
Mei. We'll see what happens with her though.
Yeah, that hasn't been resolved yet either.
Yeah, who else? I mean, there's people like Panda and the guy who can't talk, and but I mean, they're not like high level as like some of the other sorcerers in the area. So it's like, what are they gonna do? So, even though that one guy's a special grade, right? The guy who can't talk, he speaks in like ingredients or whatever.
His ability is very OP, but it
just fucks him up.
Command, it screws his throat up.
Yeah, I remember that happening. So yeah, it's really weird. It's almost like upper leadership is too busy or disappearing. So we'll see what happens. I'm really curious to see where everything goes though, because like I without a spoiler, I can't guess it. Like I have no idea. So, but yeah, really good episode. Really liked it. I've thought this whole season's been really good, but like the last 5 episodes have been just fucking just dope after dope after dope, like really good. Even though they're all leaving with cliffhangers and stuff, but
the pacing wild.
Yeah, but yeah, really good. Really enjoying the season, and anything else?
Nope. It's been a good season for anime if you're watching more than just this show, even. But the show alone, it's a treat. So
Yeah. Yeah, well, let us know in the comments. What did you guys think of this episode? What things stood out to you? Is there anything in this episode that happened that we didn't talk about that you'd like to talk about? Let us know in the comments. What do you think is going to happen next? If you know spoilers, please don't spoil it for us. We haven't read the manga, going in blindly, so we can have these big surprises happen, and it's more fun that way. So please respect that. And yeah, if you want to speculate, though, let us know. And yeah, let's know what you think about in the comments below when it comes to this episode and this season so far. I've been Seth, this has been Chevy, and until the next episode and the next review, we'll talk to you guys later.